Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I'm so ready for this video. You all have no idea how I've been stopping myself from touching any of these products that I wanted to do a first impressions. I am gonna be testing out a ton of new makeup. This is one of my favorite videos to film. I just love testing out new makeup, sharing my first impressions, my thoughts. We get to try it out together. So it's gonna be a good time. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let me just start off by saying my skin hates me right now. I don't know what it is. First of all, I'm breaking out on my forehead. I've been wearing hats all week. For some reason, it's my forehead's not having it. So I have no idea what's going on. But we have so much goodness. This is basically everything that I hauled during the Sephora sale. Aside from my forehead breaking out, I got a wonderful friend visiting me right here, so we're just gonna deal with that later. So to start off, we're gonna start off with the eyes. I'm gonna go in with this palette right here. This is the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Petals, oh my god, Rose Metals palette. Said it before, I wasn't gonna get this, but then I saw it in store, I swatched it in store, and I was like, this is gorgeous, I need to get my hands on it, and I'm so excited. Do you see how beautiful this color story is? So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade right here, which is Noble. This is the deepest shade in the palette. I'm just going to start by pressing this in the crease just to add some dimension. I'm not going to do anything too dramatic today because I really just want to get a feel for the palette and then the shades. I don't know why, but Callie is rubbing against the wall over here. So if you hear that rubbing or scratching, it's her running her body against the wall. I feel like it's not blending as easily as I would like. So I'm just gonna kind of work with it. So next I'm gonna go into, let's take a little bit of Dune, which is this shade right here. Through the crease maybe. Let's just add it on top just to make this look a little bit warmer, because I feel like a lot of the shades in here kind of runs really cool toned. So I'm just gonna kind of go over that shade in the crease with this one. Let's play with one of these shimmers. Ooh, you know what? Ooh, this looks so gorgeous. I'm gonna take the green shade called Nova, and I'm going to place this on the lid. Ooh, that is so pretty. Wow. I'm telling y'all, this look is just going to be really simple because I just want to keep it simple. I would love to have seen a black in here. So I guess I'm just going to go back into the shade Noble and just kind of run it in the crease. I do wish there was a black in here just to make this look kind of smoky, but I guess that's fine. I'm going to take this shade right here called Heavenly, and I'm just going to place a little bit of this in the inner corner, just to add a little bit more to this look, I guess. I don't know if that really does anything. Is this my favorite look I've ever done? Absolutely not, but it's something, I guess. I went ahead and basically just added a little bit of a wing liner and some mascara. I think this look is super natural and pretty basic. The shades that I use, I feel like they're more everyday kind of shades, but so far I feel like the quality of that palette is pretty consistent with their last palette. Now, moving on to this right here. This is a new sunscreen. One of y'all recommended this to me, and I immediately ran to Sephora to try it out. This is from Summer Fridays. This is the Shade Drops Mineral Milk Sunscreen. So I wanted to try this out on camera just in case you all are looking for a sunscreen. This is the packaging on the sunscreen. It says it's a lightweight mineral sunscreen that glides over skin like a serum, delivering SPF and skincare benefits. I don't want to do too much because I'm a little nervous if it has a white cast or not. So we're gonna see. So I'm just gonna blend this in to the face. So far so good. I can literally add a little bit more. There is no white cast, and it doesn't have a super sunscreeny kind of smell, which is definitely a plus for me. Looks like it would have a white cast, but once you actually blend it into the skin, you don't see any of that. Oh, okay. That is a plus for me. Thank you so much for recommending me the sunscreen because so far it looks really good. So I was in the market for a sunscreen that didn't have a glow to it, and so far this is definitely passing the test. So thank you so much for recommending that to me. Now we're gonna move on to something that I didn't show in any of my hauls, but I did just pick this up from Sephora. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powders for face and eyes. I picked up the shade 9. Now I contemplated getting this product because I've seen some good reviews and some bad reviews. So I have taken this product out of my cart more times than I can even count, and then I ended up just getting it because I'm like, you know what, I need to try it for myself. So I ended up picking up the shade 9. So I didn't want the universal. I wanted it to add like a little bit of coverage, though it is not a foundation. It's a little scooper on here, which is really cool. This is what the shade 9 looks like. This is a texture reducing, coverage boosting, blurring balm to powder that balances oils throughout the day while maintaining hydration. It creates a soft focus effect on pores and fine lines. Okay, so I got some here. We're gonna just, I feel like the shade, hopefully the shade is good. I feel like it might be a little too deep. All right, and I'm just gonna, oh, it might be, I mean, it is a little bit too deep than I would like. I really got this because I heard that it's very good for oily skin. So that, I mean, I think it's pretty good once I like blend it into the skin. I definitely feel like it has added coverage to my face. Okay, so first impressions after blending this out, I feel like it definitely kind of like evened out my skin, which is really nice. I'm just more so excited to see how it's gonna help with my oils and how other products apply on top of this, because I want to know if it's gonna like ball up and things like that. But so far I'm really liking the blurred finish that it gave me. So I didn't pick up a new foundation during the sale, but I'm gonna go in with my favorite foundation of all time, which is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. So I'm just gonna apply like 3 pumps on the back of my hand. I'm gonna mix in 1 pump of the Say Super Gel and just mix it in. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply this to the face. I'm not even gonna lie, that Say Super Gel does have a very strong scent to it, which is interesting. So I just mixed it in with my foundation and I do smell it. I definitely feel like it added some glow to my face. It definitely does look very pretty. I just feel like my skin does look very radiant and gorgeous. I wish I would have put this on under, so I might try it out again under foundation as well as mixed in. Love the fact that you can use this product with your foundation and make any foundation glowy. I am gonna take a little bit of a pump, like a half a pump. And I'm also just gonna take some on the back of my sponge and just go on top of my foundation just to see what that does. Ooh, okay, that is honestly so gorgeous. What? It's a little bit strong, but I can kind of like look past it, I guess. So next up for concealer, I did pick up this one from Lancome. This is the All Over Multitask Concealer. I picked up the shade 460 Suede. I have always wanted to try this concealer for the longest time. I've heard it's super full coverage, so we're gonna test it out today. This doe foot is so weird. It's like such a weird doe foot. Like, it's very flimsy, but I love like the tip of it because it's kind of shaped very interestingly. And I'm just gonna place the concealer where I would. Okay, I feel like it's not as full coverage as I thought. Like, it's not as full coverage as like the e.l.f., so to speak. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I don't feel like it's like my favorite so far from like first impressions, but it is covering. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the NARS Creamy Concealer. Like that thin consistency, like building it up looks nice, but it kind of just has like that thin consistency. I don't have a new setting powder, so I'm just gonna go in with my Uoma setting powder in the shade Honey. Now that my face is set, I feel like everything looks really beautiful. I don't know if that's my favorite concealer, especially with having to build up with a second layer. A lot of the concealers that I use now, I feel like 1 layer is good enough. I don't really know how I'm feeling about that. I don't really think this is like a revolutionary concealer, to be honest. But let's just move on. Let's try out the next product. So Sigma Beauty sent me a really huge PR package. Thank you so much, Sigma, if you guys are watching this video. And I have a couple of products from that package that I really wanted to try out because I've never tried these products from Sigma before. And the first product is a bronzer. This is in the shade Deep. So this is a matte bronzer that I really wanted to try out. I really wanted to see if this was going to work for me. I usually go for bronzers that are more like red. But this one, it doesn't really, I feel like this one is a lot more neutral than what I would usually go for. But, I mean, I feel like it's definitely working, but I feel like it's a little bit more subtle. I feel like this bronzer would be a really good bronzer to kind of like, you know, amp up your cream bronzers or like to set your cream bronzer. The other product that Sigma sent over was this blush. This is in the shade Nearly Wild. Apply this to the cheeks. Oh my gosh. So pretty. I do want something a little bit brighter, so I'm gonna go into my Alamar Cosmetics blush trio. I'm gonna take some of this like berry like wine shade, and I'm just going to kind of like top that blush because I like a little bit more of a punchy blush. Loving. Just adding a little bit of MAC Fix Plus to kind of melt everything together. Before we move on to the lips, I'm just gonna go into this highlighter that Sigma sent over, and this is in the shade Sunstone. Ooh, it kind of like has like a pinkish kind of undertone to it, which is really nice. That's gorgeous. I'm just gonna put it on the nose because I'm not really feeling the highlighter on the rest of the face. For the lips, I'm gonna go into my Makeup Forever lip liner in Dimension Dark Brown. Lastly, for lips, I have these Maracuja Juicy lip sets, and I think for this look, I want to go into Ginger because it's like a nudie brown, and I think it'll go perfect. I feel like Ginger is gonna low-key be my new favorite Maracuja Juicy lip shade. I think that's so pretty. So here is the finished look using some new makeup products. Let's get into my final thoughts on these products that I tried today. Let's start off with the eyeshadow palette from Anastasia because I do have some thoughts. So I didn't use as many shades as I would like. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do today, but I will say the formula is very much consistent across Primrose palette and the Novu palette, which I really, really love this new and improved formula from ABH. I feel like it's gorgeous. I just feel like it's a really, really good formula, and I love the shimmers in here. I feel like the shimmers honestly make the palette worth it for me. Now, moving on to the mattes, because I feel like I kind of have the same opinion that I had for the Novu palette. I feel like it doesn't go deep enough. When I look at this palette, I can see depth in the shimmers. The shimmers in this palette go super deep. I feel like they're going to show up on all skin tones. But when it comes to the mattes, I feel like this is going to end up being a palette that's more of a companion palette, where you're going to have to pull other matte shades from other palettes to really get a full look. Because in all honesty, there's only 2 true mattes in this palette, and it's the 2 shades that I used today. You can only do so much with it, because for me, I feel like I was missing like that black or something to make this even deeper, something to kind of like differentiate the looks that you're gonna get with this. Because I mean, you can't really get much of a completed look with just a shimmer. I feel like you're always going to be reaching for the same 2 matte shades to get a look, and it's going to end up looking the same across all of them. So that's my opinion on that. I do feel like the shimmers in this palette are honestly so gorgeous. Like, let's watch some of these shimmers. Like, I will say I really do like this palette way more than the Novu palette because of how much depth you get in it. But this palette on its own, I think this is a great companion palette. Like, for me personally, I don't think I could just travel with just this palette because I'm not going to have enough to get a completed look. So that's how I feel about this palette. Now, moving on to the concealer, I will say the concealer, I don't know, it was hyped up so much more, and I just don't feel like, it's anything different than what I already have. It's just not anything revolutionary where I'm just like, oh my god, you need to run out and get this. I don't really feel like that with this concealer. I feel like I like the foundation way more, and that hype on that foundation is so real. But on the concealer, I'm just not wowed by it. These products that I tried from Sigma, the highlighter, the blush, and the bronzer, are all really nice formulas. I feel like for this blush shade, I like something a little bit more punchy, so I did have to kind of like, you know, use another blush to get it as punchy as I would like. But the formula on this is really nice. I also really like the highlighter. I really would love to get my hands on like a golden tone one because I think that'd be gorgeous. This one has more of like a pinky undertone. As far as the formula, I really, really like it. I feel like it's super reflective and blinding. And then the bronzer, I feel like I'm really gonna love this to set cream bronzers, you know. What else? Maracuja Juicy Lips, honestly my favorite product from Tarte. I really love this limited edition set. I love the shade Ginger because it's like a nudie brown, and I'm definitely going to be traveling with this shade. It's so pretty, and I thought Mixed Berries was my favorite shade, but I'm kind of leaning more to Ginger as my favorite shade because it's so gorgeous. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm. I really like it. I love the fact that it adds coverage. I don't know how it's going to hold up on the skin, but I will continue to use it and play around with it. I feel like the color of it kind of like scared me, but I love the fact that it added coverage to the skin, and it's not bad. It's not a bad color at all. It just looked really deep at first. Like, let me like swatch this. Like, I feel like it looked like deeper than I usually go. You see? Yeah, I feel like, okay, maybe I'm not tripping. It is a lot deeper of a shade, so I might go down a shade. I mean, I feel like once you like really blend it in, it's fine, or like top it with foundation, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt for me to go down to shade 8, you know? So I think I will do that. Because I really am intrigued to see how this product holds my oils and all of that good stuff. Honestly, I was really surprised by this sunscreen. It didn't leave a white cast, which I love. So once again, thank you so much for your recommendation. I'm hoping this is like a new go-to favorite of mine. The other products you already know, like they're like, you guys have seen me use them before. But I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will definitely catch you in my next video. Bye!